City News is brought to you by East Brewster Lawyers, Rotorua, celebrating 100 years of legal excellence and innovation.
Good evening, Rotorua. Tonight on City News. The Rotorua District Council agrees to defer a number of scheduled projects as part of immediate action to reduce debt. Lakeside organisers are gearing up for another exciting free concert at the Village Greens, and the Chiefs lose their first pre-season game against the Queensland Reds. Rotorua District Council has agreed to defer a number of scheduled projects as part of immediate action to reduce debt levels. The deferred projects have a total value of approximately $5.4 million and were all scheduled for completion in the current 2013-14 year. Projects on hold are reported to be the Lakefront redevelopment, Blue Bass upgrade. Mayor Steve Chadwick says deferring the capital projects was the toughest decision the new council has had to make. Mrs Chadwick emphasised that the council's decision was at this stage to only defer a number of capital projects and that none of them had been cancelled outright. This year's Lakeside organisers are finalising plans and gearing up for another exciting concert. Lakeside trustee Ian Edwards says Frankie Stevens came up with this year's tongue-in-cheek theme.
Yeah, we're really excited. We wanted something different, and we went to Frankie Stevens and said, look, we want you to do a different job for us, and he came back after consultation with one or two of his mates with the bald, the blind and the beautiful. And guess which one John Rolls was? Yep. So Frankie's definitely putting his hand up to be the bald, and Eddie and John. And then around that we position all the young ones. And we've got some wonderful talent that's coming for it. You'll have a very memorable night, I can assure you of that.
Now, speaking of young ones, Monty, you're obviously the organiser of the event. Yep. We've got some local talent as well.
Yes, certainly that's been a tradition that the event has presented to our audience over the years. And if you go back, Elizabeth Marbley, back in I think in the very early 2000s, and then not long after that, Hayley Westerner came through here. So yeah, Lakeside has a proud tradition. So Rotorua has talent, definitely. We've got 3 performers who have been auditioned, and yeah, they'll be something to see. That's for certain.
And the Opportunity Daytime Concerts present 3 tenors and a soprano in the latest national tour starting next month. The concert features the New Zealand 3 tenors singing popular arias and songs. Of the 5 performers, 3 are of Polynesian descent and are up and coming on the opera scene. 3 tenors and a soprano is on Tuesday the 18th of March. For more information, visit daytimeconcerts.co.nz. In sport tonight, the Chiefs have lost their first pre-season hit-out against the Queensland Reds on Friday night, losing 31-20 at Toowoomba Sports Ground. The Reds went out to an early lead, which they held onto after heading into the halftime break ahead 24-8. Chiefs coach Wayne Smith says it took a while to get going, but was important to give as many of the players a run as possible. On Friday, the Chiefs play their second warm-up match against the Blues at the International Stadium. The Blues have also lost their first pre-season match 33-12 to the Waratahs. The Chiefs versus the Blues is on here at the International Stadium this Friday. Gates open at 5 p.m. To your weather update. Tonight will be fine with light winds and an overnight low of 13. For tomorrow, Tuesday, long fine spells with a chance of a shower, light winds and a high of 23, a low of 12. And the outlook for Wednesday, fine spells, however some afternoon showers with westerlies, a high of 23 and a low of 11. And the marine weather for Tuesday, variable 5 knots becoming northerly 10 knots for a time in the afternoon, with waves less than half a metre, mainly fine with isolated afternoon and evening showers. Remember, for program listings or to upload your videos, check out our website, tvrotorua.co.nz. You can also see updates on our TV Rotorua Facebook page. Coming up after the break, we visit Plunket to find out about their upcoming Blue Bear Day, and Alan Solomon talks with Rotorua Cricket's development manager Dave Richardson about new initiatives to get young people interested in the game.
Well, Appeal Week is almost upon us here at Plunket, and the Rotorua community really need to support those guys. They do a wonderful job here. Today we're going to be catching up with Angie Briley and Louise Parisi. Now they're a couple of workers here at Plunket, and then we're going to catch up with their Plunket nurse Vicky Littleton, and she's just going to share a little bit about breastfeeding and the new courses they have here. Thanks for joining us today, Angie. Now we all know that Plunket do an amazing job in our community, but you need some help from the community, don't you, with your Appeal Week coming up shortly?
We absolutely do. Appeal Week runs from March the 3rd to the 9th, and we're really looking for volunteers to help us out. Our committee is made up of 6 people, and it's just not enough to raise us the money that we'd like to raise this appeal.
So what are you guys doing? Because I know you've got a barbecue at Bunnings. Is that the main thrust of this appeal?
We'll be down at Bunnings on March the 1st, cooking sausages, and we've had the meat shop on board to donate sausages, so anything that we make will be a nice tidy profit to start off our appeal. We'll be heading into town on March the 7th to do some collection in the street, so if you see us, please come and say hi. We'd love to have your money, really.
No, of course. Now, obviously, you need volunteers to do the collecting, so do people need to come into the office and see you, or can they just give you a call?
They can give the office a call and leave a message here. The number is 350-1517, and if you ask for Angie, I will definitely get that message and be chasing you up.
What if there's people at home that can't get into town or don't have a phone, but maybe have the internet?
Yeah, they can email or leave a message on our Facebook page, PM us there, or leave a comment, and I'll follow that up as well, definitely.
Yeah. What about this online collection thing? So I know a lot of community groups out there are using that these days.
That will be going live towards the end of February, early March. I'll be putting a link to my page on our Facebook page, and if you come to our Facebook page, you can donate through me to Rotorua Plunket.
So is that separate from your Appeal Week?
It's all part of Appeal Week,
Okay.
yeah.
Now, if someone's wanting to use the services of Plunket, how can they find you? Because I know we had a bit of difficulty finding you guys today.
We've got a Plunket website, so www.plunket.org.nz, I think, is the website. You can find us on 1436 Pukawaroa Street, or you can find our office, Community Services Office, 350-1517.
And there's people here Monday to Friday, 9 to 5?
Monday to Friday, 9 till 3-ish.
3-ish?
Yep.
All right, good stuff. Appreciate your time. Thanks, Angie.
No problem.
Hi, Louise. How often here at Plunket would you get new parents coming in wanting advice?
Well, all the nurse parents that come through, they come through the Plunket nurses, and so we offer a parenting course for all first-time parents or parents that through second marriages have children with a big gap. And
So they haven't lost their skills, they just want to refresh?
well, refresh, and things change all the time, like how to bathe the baby or the nappies that you use, anything changes. Like I've got grown-up children, and what I did 15 years ago you just don't do now, so many things change, and we run these free courses, and yeah, you can register through me here at Plunket House or through your Plunket nurse.
So how often would you run these sort of classes? Because it sounds pretty full on.
Oh, I know it is. We run courses each term. We cover your growing baby, which is for 6 weeks to 6 months, your moving baby, which is 6 months to a year, your active toddler, 1 to 3 years, and we also do a your new baby, which is for expectant parents.
Yeah.
So
is this what's happening now? Because I can hear music in the background.
That's one of our play groups, which runs every Wednesday here at Plunket House, and it's a music time group.
And what do they do in there? Just listen to music and have a good time with their
And
babies?
the kids dance and
Really?
play with instruments, and it's a good way for the parents to actually meet and get that peer support, I suppose, each week. And
What's the percentage would be mainly mothers as opposed to the fathers, or do you get couples that come in?
it's mainly mums that come in. We are looking at sort of doing a father group, but it's sort of like hard to capture them because a lot of them are working, so we are looking at doing maybe a weekend play group just for fathers.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, but we just sort of have to get that the support and the numbers to make it viable.
All right, good stuff. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
No, that's great. Thanks.
Well, joining me now is Vicky Littleton. She is one of the nurses here at Plunkett. Thanks for joining us today, Vicky. Now, breastfeeding is obviously one of the most natural things people can do, or mums can do for their children. Do you get many mums coming in here wanting some information on how to breastfeed, especially new mums?
I guess as far as our centre here is concerned, we don't have people coming in so much asking about breastfeeding, but obviously in the course of our work we're meeting with breastfeeding mothers all the time. So our role is to try and support them to continue breastfeeding, to work with any of issues that they might have and try to overcome those so that it makes it easier for them, and support ongoing breastfeeding, because we know that there's so many benefits for mums and babies around that. So yeah, it's a big part of the work that we do, and we're really passionate about it.
Now, I just recently found out that you guys are starting a new course in breastfeeding to help new mums. Yep. When does that start?
Yep. Well, we've just got out a support group for breastfeeding mothers. We're starting it on the 18th of February. So it's going to be a 2-hour slot every Tuesday, which I'll be here, and anyone who's breastfeeding, who wants to be with other breastfeeding mothers, who wants to talk about their own issues with breastfeeding, who wants to share their own experiences with other women, just to come along. It's just a drop-in. It's just about breastfeeding support, and it's just to provide somewhere on a regular basis, particularly for early people who are new to breastfeeding, who are finding out new things about what's happening and how they respond to their babies, and how breastfeeding fits in with all of that.
Good stuff. Thank you, Vicky. Appreciate your time.
Cheers.
Well, we're catching up with Dave Richardson today. He is the manager of Rotorua Cricket Development, and there was a couple of tournaments over the holidays that he was involved in. One was the River Bend and also the Lakelands Cricket Tournament. So we're going to catch up with him and find out all the news. Thanks for joining us today, Dave. Now, we've got heaps of news to talk about in the cricketing world, but let's go back to just before Christmas, because you guys are quite heavily involved in a tournament that involved all the Bay of Plenty teams.
Hi Alan, and thanks for having us back. Prior to Christmas every year, Northern Districts hold their age group tournaments, and they're in 3 different age groups. They have a primary age group, they have a under 15 age group, and what they call senior secondary school, which any boy who goes to school is eligible for. And they divide Northern Districts into 8 regions, and our players from Rotorua represent the Lakelands region. So they have boys from Taupo and Whakatane in their teams as well, so they're competing against areas like Hamilton, counties, some really big strong areas. So it is a real challenge for our players to compete in these tournaments, and that's the pinnacle for our young age group players. And I took the primary school team and had a neat group of young boys, and Phil Tatarangi, the golfer, he was the manager of the team, and his little boy Kahu was in the team, and he's a really good cricketer and inherited some of his dad's sporting qualities. And that little team had a fantastic win against Poverty Bay, and these boys are fantastic to deal with. They're 11 and 12 years old, full of enthusiasm, and they were very competitive against all teams in Northern Districts. We won 1 game and lost 3, and each of the losses were sort of down to the last couple of overs. But the focus in that age group is not about winning, it's about giving boys an opportunity to play and see how they compare against other boys in Northern Districts. And then the next age group is the junior secondary schools. Mitch Farnell was the coach of that team. They did very well. They finished 5th in the tournament. They had a couple of boys that got hundreds, and another boy got a couple of big bags of wickets. And they had 2 boys that were selected in the Northern Districts under 16 team, which is a fantastic achievement. There's only 12 boys from the whole region can make that side, so we had 2 boys from Rotorua make that team. That was Declan Kenny and Alistair Blackett. And then in the senior secondary school side, and that's where you get some very, very good players playing. And at that age group, some of the boys playing are only actually a year away from playing international cricket, so that's where the Daniel Vittoris and Kane Williamsons play. And a number of players in those teams represent their men's provincial team, so that's a real challenge for our boys, but they did fantastic. We have a really great young coach called Mark Crawford, who's based in Te Puke. He coached the side, and they finished 5th in their competition out of the 8 teams. And we had 2 boys that were selected for the Northern District's under 19 and under 18 team, which is a real achievement. That was Mark Keeney's son, John Keeney. He's also away in Australia at the moment with the New Zealand under 18 hockey team, so he's obviously a really talented sportsman. And another special young man who lives in Taupo, called Shannon McSimon, he made the development side, and Shannon is a New Zealand boxing champ, and so he again is a really special young talented sport.
Now all the kids are back to school this week and last week. Junior cricket, is it up and ready to go again?
Yeah, it is. We start on the 8th hour intermediate competition, and that's a grading day, with the main competition starting on the 15th. And our junior primary school competition, this is the children in year 1 to 6, that starts at Smallbone on Thursday the 13th. That's when we kick that off. And if anyone's interested in playing that isn't part of a team, they just need to contact me. Can I give them my phone number, Alan? Okay, the easiest way is to give me a call on 0275 800 149, or they could call in to Barpenti Sports Office and they'll know how to find me. But we'd welcome any new cricketers to join us this season.
How about mum and dads to volunteer for things like umpires and things like that?
Yeah, no, we certainly would love to have anyone. Again, the easiest way is to call me, and I reckon we've got a great system in place to help those parents who want to get involved in volunteering at cricket, and it's a lot easier than it may appear to be when you watch a game on TV.
All right, Dave, we'll just stop you there. You guys at home, just stay with us because we've got some more cricketing news coming straight up after the break. Well, we're back here again with Dave Richardson, the manager of Rotorua Cricket Development. Thanks for staying with us again, Dave. Now, when I was young and growing up, I heard a saying given to me by my mum that kids in sports stay out of court. So, is that still true today? Does cricket help kids stay out of trouble?
Right, well, we're going to start a new initiative this term, Alan, and we're really, fingers crossed, we're hoping that we're on something that could be really good for the Rotorua community in cricket. We've come up with the first initiative is on a Friday night, which often is a night for, those boys and girls in that age group when they've sort of started high school where they want to do something. And so we've aimed to put together a Friday night sort of business house type cricket competition for secondary school students. It's going to be at Smallbone Park, which is we all know is a great place to be. And the idea is that they will play without any pads, without any helmets, so it's really easy, and they don't need any gear, and they can wear whatever clothes they like to come along. It's $2 to play the game, and it's going to be in a form where, for those that are not aware of business house cricket, where there's smaller run-ups, and there's a limited time for people to bat, and there's no LBWs, and the rules are very, very easy. And we're hoping that the game should be finished within an hour and a half. At the end of each game, all the people who play will get a sausage and hopefully a drink if we can get one of the local businesses to help us with some sponsorship. And we're really hoping that it will introduce some of those people who enjoy touch and more of those instant games, where cricket tends to have struggled to sometimes capture those sort of players. And being a Smallbone, we think will add some real X factor to being there, because it is such a lovely venue. And the other initiative we have is with the intermediate schools. We want to create a school competition which gives those boys that are playing cricket some mana in the school. through being a good cricketer, so that their fellow school students can see that they're good at cricket. And also an opportunity for those boys and girls who don't play cricket on a Saturday to have an opportunity to play. And Rotorua Cricket will provide a trophy for that. And the plan at the moment is there's three intermediate schools that can get a first 11. And another neat thing about Rotorua is schools work together. So those schools that haven't, my job will be to form a combined team. So that'll give students from Rotorua and those outlying schools an opportunity to still be part of this. And that's going to happen on a Monday night down at Board Park.
Have you got sort of a time frame when this is going to start?
Yeah, that one will start the second week the boys are back at school and girls, which I'm pretty sure, if I have a quick look, is on the 17th. So that's the aim for it to start on the 17th, on the Monday down at Board Park.
Just before we go, Dave, the New Zealand Black Caps, fantastic win against the Indian World Champs. How inspirational is that for the up-and-coming cricketers?
Yeah, well, it's certainly inspirational for people like me who are working in the game, but yeah, it is really good. But I think in reality, it has to happen a bit more often before you really get people to play. So I think it's great, and in lots of ways it's probably more important for the people that are playing cricket because they see that and it makes them stay in the game a little bit longer. But yeah, it is. There's a lot more better feeling about cricket in the community, and people have seen some of the skills. But what I've loved about it, that the way they've played the game on and off the field, it has been fantastic to watch, and it's created a lot of interest in cricket. So we're hoping those two initiatives that we're creating will give those boys or girls may not have been playing cricket, and well, actually I can come along, it's only $2 and I don't need all the gear and I can have a go at it. So yeah, but it's been great as a cricket person to watch how well they've played.
Yeah. Do we have the facilities to host an international one day or 2020?
No, we don't. We have a ground that is as good as a lot of other grounds, but one of the challenges when you have international games now is actually not so much the ground, it's actually the security type facilities that you need, more so than the actual pitch, and all the playing conditions are only one side of it. So Smallbone Park would have to upgrade all their changing facilities, places for umpires match, so we wouldn't actually be able to do that. Our best opportunity is to play it at the stadium in the short term, but we need to make it a little bit wider.
That was Alan Solomon talking with Rotorua Cricket's Development Manager Dave Richardson. If you have any news to share, give us a call on 073488 984, or you can email news@tv.rotorua.co.nz. And to watch the show again, go to tv.rotorua.co.nz and click on Latest News. Thanks for watching tonight. From all the team here at City News, for Maria.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
City News was brought to you by East Brewster Lawyers Rotorua, celebrating 100 years of legal excellence and innovation.